Alright guys, so I know you're thinking, well, I could get fit, I could write a book, I could travel the world, if I could actually stick with those little habits that I knew would help me reach my goals. Well, how do you actually stick with habits though? Now in today's video, I want to share with you 5 mind-blowing habit facts that I pulled from over 50 research studies on how to actually create and stick with your habits, the 5 commandments. What's up guys, my name's Alex Hine, author of the book Master the Day. Now the very first habit commandment is that your best chance of actually sticking with a habit is if you do it at the same time and the same place, so you link it to an event. Have you ever thought about why brushing your teeth, for example, is such a consistent habit, hopefully for everyone else's sake? Chances are because you do it at the same time and the same place every day. You do it in the same bathroom probably, and you do it at the same time, whether that's 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. or something else. A lot of the habit research shows that the best way to stick with a habit is link it to the same time, place, or event. An event could be something as simple as waking up or going to bed. Habit fact number 2, one of the biggest reasons why habits are so difficult to stay up with and keep up with on vacation, for example, is because of the lack of cues. One of the key things in sticking with a habit or triggering it is a cue. So the cue could be negative, like for example, we feel stressed out, and so what we do is we actually eat junk food. Or the cue could be something like, I feel like it's time to go to bed, so I'm gonna brush my teeth and read a book. But the problem is that, for example, when I'm on vacation, my typical cue to work out is I leave work at 4 or 5. Well, now that I'm in school, my cues are different, but when I used to have a full-time job, I would leave work, and that was my cue to drive to the gym and go work out. Well, if your cue is leaving work, or leaving school, what happens when you're on vacation and you're not working and you're not studying? You've lost your cue, the positive cue to help you stick with that habit. So one of the reasons why the weekend and going on vacation is so difficult is because of the lack of cues related to your habits. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the best reasons to actually come up with a morning or an evening routine. And I have a bunch of other videos on creating a morning routine, but I would definitely go check that one out as well because that's really, really important because even if you're on vacation, or even if it's the weekend, you still have a morning, and you could still link a habit to every morning. Habit number 3, habit-based approaches to reaching your goals, that's a big one, are more effective in research than goal-based approaches to reaching your goals. So if you focus on the habits that will get you to your goal, you are more likely to reach your goal than if you just focus on goal setting. Now in one study in particular, comparing this habit-based weight loss versus a control group, after 8 weeks, the habit group lost 4.4 pounds compared to 0.8 pounds. And after 32 weeks, the people in the habit group lost an average of 8.3 pounds. So in these studies, the habit-based group, now these were people focused on changing their habits to reach the goal, obviously, instead of setting a goal, the habit group outperformed the goal-setting group almost every time. Habit idea number 4 is that our self-image predicts whether or not we stick with our habits. If you've been following my stuff for a while, you know I'm a big fan of Dr. Maxwell Maltz and the idea of the self-identity. Well, in one study in particular on anorexics, it found that they had an extremely high relapse rate even after formal treatment, and they were actually unnaturally resistant to improving. Now, the researchers concluded that one reason was because of their self-image. They still legitimately believed that they were unhealthy or overweight or whatever was the underlying psychology behind it. So if our self-image is not aligned with who we're trying to be or who we think we can be, it makes it very hard to stick with a habit in the long run. And surprising habit fact number 5, extrinsic rewards can actually worsen your motivation in the long run. So when I say extrinsic rewards, it means going to the gym and then being like, I'm going to have a cookie because I just did my workout, or doing my homework and then watching TV. And the reason is that the more you have to reward yourself for doing a behavior, even if it's something that's going to advance your life, what happens is that oftentimes the less you like it. If you didn't like the activity in the first place, and now you have to use a reward to do it in the second place, well, where's the motivation to actually do the habit just for the sake of doing the habit? So that's why with my clients, I try to focus so much on getting people to do exercise they love, or pursue paths that interest them, because if you have the intrinsic motivation, if that motivation is there beforehand, and you love doing what you're about to do, well then you don't need a reward. You don't need any reward because the process is the reward. And since the process is the whole game of life, really, the more you can do that, the more you're going to have that kind of fortitude to get all the way out there and reach those goals. So I hope that helps, guys. Before you go, I want you to leave a comment right there below. Let me know for you, which one of these can you use for executing on a certain habit? Leave that comment right there below. What's up, guys? I hope you enjoyed that video. Now, of course, the best way to stay in touch with me is two things. Number one, you can actually go over and get that free guide on my site. It is on the 5 habits to help you lose your next 20 to 30 pounds, a habit-based approach. Next, you can actually check out my latest video right back there on the left. That'll give you some ideas about what other stuff we're talking about, where we're going in the future. And of course, if you like this approach, come check out my book, Master the Day, on Amazon.com. It's all about the tiny daily success habits to help you not only get fit, but also be more successful in every aspect of your life. And it's built off research I did, interviewing people that lost over 100 pounds and kept it off years later. So go get that free guide on my site, check out the latest video, and if you're interested in my book, you can check that out or in the description, and I'll catch you in the next video.